Sometimes you really don't need anything new. Sometimes everything that you've been told makes sense, but you have like a problem of putting the wrong thing, doing the right thing at the wrong time. And my video today is gonna kind of show you how that looks like, or that how might look like today for you, because I have done this over and over again, and I'm sharing it because it's cost me a lot of time, a lot of money, and cost me a lot of pain. Welcome to this one. And if you're watching this for the very, very first time, my name is Prima, and I have been in business for 10 years, been online for 5, and I use one profile, Facebook. Maybe I should do better. But I use my Facebook profile, and I've been able to see over 300 grand with less than 6,000 members. The lessons I share is everything that I have gone through. I have learned through the tears, frustrations, and failing, basically. And my really reason why I share is that you don't do the same. This lesson is picked from the Best Kept Secret Pathway, which is a course that you can access if you're part of my community. And the lesson I'm going to share with you is really kind of seeing what you're doing and if that fits in the phase that you are in. I look at business as 3 phases. At least for the Best Kept Secret, I see it as 3 phases. The first phase is get proof phase. The second phase is the movement builder phase. And the third phase is the legacy builder phase. And shortly, I'm going to show you like what is involved in each of the phases and how can you begin to look at what you're doing and take inventory and kind of see, am I doing the right things at the wrong time? Graphically, this looks like, how I'm looking at it is like really a simple triangle. Phase 1 is the proof phase. Context is everything. Most people try to give the best information, but they don't, and I'm not sure what screen I'm sharing at this point, so I'll need to stop sharing and check again because I want to share the right screen. Give me a second. Just be sure what screen I'm sharing because I might be sharing the wrong thing. Okay, I believe now I'll be sharing the right screen. The first phase is what I like to call the get proof phase. A lot of people miss context, and context can be everything sometimes. The first phase is the proof phase. Like, do you have proof of doing what you're doing? Second phase is movement. Is your work serving a bigger purpose than helping yourself? Are you behind a cause big enough? Are you helping a big chunk of people get away from where they are to where they're trying to go? Are you a freedom fighter? That's kind of how I look at movement building. You are a freedom fighter. You're fighting for a certain group of people to get free from a certain behavior. Number 3 is legacy builder. Legacy builder is you've had the proof, you've had the movement, and now legacy is like you're really like leaving your blueprints behind, your footsteps behind. It's more like your retirement type of thing. It's more like if you have a will. I don't know how many of you have a will, but like when you reach that point of writing a will and saying, I leave this for this person, this is like the legacy builder phase. You've tried a lot of things, you've learned a lot of lessons, and now you are stepping up to serve a much bigger audience with this thing. And I want to take you in each of these a little bit, going deeper and asking you the question, what phase are you? Can you see the phase that you're in? The thing that I want to explain is not like when you move from phase 1, you go to phase 2, and you go to phase 3, and you never look back, because sometimes you can bounce back to phases. Best Kept Secret is something I have created in 2024. It is a new movement. And so it doesn't matter how much legacy work I had done, I have to bounce back to movement building because it is a new movement. So depending on the phase in your business and life, you might be forced back to go to one phase. You can be forced back to go to movement, and you can also be forced back to go to the proof phase, because sometimes the thing you're doing has no proof. And so your phase in that time is to gather proof. So this is not a done and over. This is more like you might find yourself in one of the phases as we go. And this is something that I have created myself. I have come up with based on how I see the world. It doesn't have to be how you see business, but this is how I see business. And so I just wanted to put that there. Like, it's not a done and done with. Sometimes you have to go back. I had a client who moved from the proof phase very quickly. She did movement builder very quickly. So in this phase, she was creating proof, like endless proof. In this phase, she created a movement. It was like 1,000 clients. I think that was really good. She had a movement with like thousands of people following, but 1,000 clients had paid her. 1,000 clients had gone in her dashboard as paid clients. So that was a strong movement. And then when she was doing this work, she fell sick and didn't do anything for a year. Now, coming back, she really has to start here again because things have changed, business has changed. What used to work then doesn't work now, so she has to go back here. The thing, though, is that it is much faster now when she goes through the phases because she kind of knows how the system works. I'll tell you a quick story before I go into the details of what is under each phase. When I first started business, and I kid you not, when I was new to business, at least online business, that was in 2020. I didn't know like online business. I didn't know like what my message was. I didn't know like target market type of stuff. I didn't know that stuff. And so the first coach I had, amazing guy, good intentions. His strategy was write a book and spend money to go take pictures with the greats. So go find a picture with this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. Write your book, people will buy it, and you'll break through like that. I had no idea. So I started writing a book. The funny thing is I had no idea what I was writing about. So I was writing a book about how to get everything you want in life. I want you to think for a moment how crazy I was. I was writing a book about how to get everything you want in life. There was one problem with that book. I didn't have everything I wanted in life. I didn't have money. I didn't have a marriage. I didn't have everything I wanted. I didn't have. But I was writing a book and I was scratching my head like, what do I say? And so I was having to read this book and this book and this book and kind of get concepts and put them in my book. The result of that book, it never happened. Like I never felt like I was in the book. I was like, why am I writing a book with like when everything is not even mine? Like all these are concepts I have borrowed from other people's books. So why am I writing a book? I didn't know if I had an experience that was worth sharing. I didn't know how to pick my lesson. And so I thought that I wanted to write this book about getting everything you want in life because I desired that. And so I just went and started putting pieces together. That strategy was write a book, make it a bestseller, take pictures with the greats, and you get clients. Okay. Maybe it worked then. Didn't work for me. And I guess if you try to do it now, it wouldn't work. When I was new to business, writing a book really wasn't the best way to use my time. Getting proof might have helped. Finding out what it is that I even could offer the market, that would have been a good place to start. Finding out who needed my help, that could have been a good place to start. But where did I start? Kid you not, writing a bestseller. I had another coach. By that time, I had an idea about personal branding, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if I had a personal brand. I didn't know what my personal brand was called, but I knew there was this thing called personal branding, and I wanted to be a personal brand. And the help was what colors, what logos, take expensive pictures and look expensive on your website. Amazing advice. But was that the problem I was trying to solve at that time? Was that the personal branding I was after at that time? Took me about a year plus to understand that that wasn't personal branding. The personal branding was this thing, what I'm doing now. Getting up, helping people, and just moving on. Like really just getting people through whatever problems they are facing. And so if you're best kept secret and you are looking to turn your work, your gifts, your mission into clients, this is the work I do now. And when I go live, I'm really just taking you one step closer to the destination. You can come to move from A to Z when you join my school community, but if you prefer to hang out here, no problem. I will try and chip away everything I know, and hopefully we end up somewhere for you. I'd love to help you move closer. I didn't understand that this was personal branding. I didn't understand that really understanding who do I help? What problem do I solve? Why does this problem exist in the marketplace? How do I uniquely solve this problem? What positions me to strongly be qualified to solve this problem? I didn't know those things. How can I help the person that has this problem move closer to their answer every day, whether they pay me or not? I didn't know this was personal branding, but this was personal branding. But I spent months and months building a fancy website, taking the most expensive pictures, and just spending money going for photo shoots. Right thing to do, wrong time to do it. Didn't have clients, didn't have proof, didn't have a lot of things, and I was doing that. Then there was another coach I hired, and this coach was all about stages. Go to stages, tell your story. I love speaking. I think speaking is great. I love master story, the art of master story. I think that is great. The problem is, no matter how many times I told my story, people didn't hire me. People said, okay, we love the story. It's relatable, but they didn't hire me. Now, I'm not saying signature talk doesn't work. I'm not saying stages don't work. I'm not saying you can't go share your story and get hired. What I'm saying is it's not the first thing to clients. And that is what I call having the wrong activity in the right activity in the wrong order. There is a person today who doesn't know their message. If I say to you, who do you serve? In 3 words, you probably wouldn't tell me. If I say to you, what's the one problem that only you can solve in the way you solve it? You wouldn't tell me. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't, maybe you would tell me 10 problems. I don't know. If I say to you, what uniquely qualifies you? Like, what's your unique identifier? What's your unique way of doing it? Would you give me the answer or not? If I say to you, why does this problem exist in the marketplace? Would you give me the answer or not? If I say to you, what does the person who has this problem actually think the problem is? Because there is a message and then there is the actual thing. So there is your message, which is you know what the problem is, but the customer doesn't know what the problem is. So there's marketing and there's message. A lot of people get their message, which is their truth, and they put it in their marketing. And they wonder why it doesn't work. A lot of people don't really know this initial thing, which is more like the clarity of your mission, the clarity of the thing you're doing. A lot of people don't have that dialed in, but they are collecting leads and they are going to speak and they're doing networking events. And when you begin to speak, people will be like, nice to meet you. But when your neighbor speaks, everyone is like, give me your credit card. What do? I want that thing. Have you ever been to a networking group and someone started to speak and you were like, I want that thing? Everyone was like, I want a piece of that. That's the difference. Some people are not even clear of the thing they're doing and they're going out to kind of get people in the door. All these are amazing activities and you're being productive, but you're doing the right things at the wrong time. It's like starting a marathon without stopping to tie your shoelaces. What will happen is along the way, the shoelaces will give way and you'll have to stop and tie them in the middle of the marathon. And so that's the thing that we don't want you to do. I want to go through the phases and I kind of want to show you how I'm thinking and what you can begin to prioritize as per every phase. This is for the best kept secret. So if you're not a best kept secret, I don't know if it applies to you, but I'm thinking this is business fundamentals. And what I teach is not the latest thing or the greatest thing. What I teach is principles that work over and over and over again. Doesn't matter who gets born and who doesn't. And so best kept secret phase. Proof, you lack proof. So whatever you can to get proof. Free calls. Offers on the fly, whatever the thing they want. Free coaching stuff, like coach people for 5 days and get proof. Conversations, like these conversations which you can give people to help them come up with a plan for their problems. Whatever you can, just build proof. Whether people pay you or don't pay you, help them and create proof. Because really, when you have proof that says you helped me move from here to here, no one cares if the person paid you or not. Phase one is more like get proof, get proof, get proof. And the one thing I can say about phase one is really just go for the unscalable stuff. Just go for the unscalable stuff. Do one-to-one, give people your time, get proof. Stay away from my lead magnet opt-in and you can do that, but don't do it as the main thing because there's no context about you. People don't care. Have you been in a situation where you saw something, you thought you like it, so you clicked on the thing, you gave your email and what? Like for me, I don't have like another email for things I'm testing. So there's people who've created an email for things on the internet. And so if they meet you, they like your thing, but they don't know who you are, they're going to use that email that they never open. They go get their thing and they'll never open it again. I don't have time to create different emails. So I use one email for everything. So if I opt into your thing, that's my main email. The problem is when I opt into a thing that I think is nice, and sometimes I'll open it, but because I don't have context about who you are and why I should listen, I'll be like, I'll get to it. And then I will download it. And I don't know if this applies to you, but instantly I feel smarter because I have the thing and I never open it sometimes because I don't have context. I don't know who you are. I don't know why I should listen to you. The things looked nice, but now it's in my computer sat there. I'll probably never open it. You'll probably end up in the recycle bin. Why that is a problem is when I get on your list, you're going to send me the first email and I'll be like, I don't know. I might ignore it. You're going to send me the second email and the third email, and my brain is going to go, ding. I'm going to put you in a folder I call the guru folder. Why? Because I don't have context about who you are. Versus if you're new and I don't know you and you say, hey, I help people move from here to here. I would love to give you 60 minutes of my time to solve this problem. That's real value. That's your time. And if my intuition said book the call, I will book the call. I'll sit on that call and you help me. Now I actually know you. Now I actually like you, especially if you know what you're doing. Now I actually don't care that you don't have millions of dollars and don't have thousands of clients. Now I actually like you because you helped me. So guess what? If I end up on your list the next day, now I'm going to see a message from Sarah and I'm going to be like, oh, that's Sarah. She's actually cool. I will not put you in my guru folder. I may start opening your emails. And that is how you get me reading your stuff. What is the lesson in that small bit of rambling? Give unscalable value until people care. Give unscalable value until you have compelling proof. I may not need to know you, but if you have compelling proof, that can make me open the stuff that you are offering and dig. So if somebody comes to me and they're like, name X, I've never seen them, but then with their thing comes like endless testimonials, that is enough for me to sit down and say, why are all these people saying this person is amazing? So in the absence of like people don't know you because you're a best kept secret, proof is your best friend. And instead of thinking, how do I build the biggest list? I would think, how do I gather the most proof? Do you see the shift? Sometimes the best coaching programs I've been in have just given me like a shift, a different way to look at things. It's not like they taught me anything I didn't know. They just gave me a new way to think at things. So when I'm doing my programs now, I want to give people that kind of thing because there's a lot of information and people are being program X and program Y and program Z. But sometimes it is like just a new way to look at things for them to understand why the things they did didn't work. So if you're very new, no one cares about you. You probably don't know much about a person you're serving and what they really, really want. Having a lead magnet is good, but it's not the end of you like really getting in front of people. And most times you don't even know what people want. Most times your lead magnet sucks. That's the truth. Like most people, their lead magnet sucks. Most people have a lead magnet that is really like a petty thing. And you're like, why would I need that? Some people's lead magnets really suck. Like if you open it, you're like, what is this? Versus if you said I do a 5-day challenge, okay, 5 days, let's see. Now you have a real chance to help somebody move from this to this. Now you have one person who is a true fan who might become a customer. Do you see the difference? One of them looks leveraged, but you might leverage your way out of business. Another one looks unscalable. And I want to encourage you to scale the unscalable. If you're in phase 1, if you're in that phase of get your hands dirty, get proof. The other thing is really get clear of your message so that everyone you meet understands what you do. Don't go to a networking group with 15 people and you open your mouth and everyone is like, well, that sounds nice. I want you to be the person who, when you begin to speak, people are like, I want that thing. I know somebody that wants your help, something like that. 3 is most of the people in the collect proof phase have something against marketing or sales. You have like some awkward belief or block around marketing or sales or both. You believe marketing is what sells you, manipulative. I don't know what your belief is, but you might have a belief around marketing. You might have a belief around sales and why you can't sell. You see it as pushy, you see it as manipulative. I don't know what the block is, but you might have a problem marketing yourself or selling yourself. If that's you, ask yourself, why? What's the resistance with marketing and sales? Those are 3 things I want to share about that phase. That phase, when you're in that phase, really just get proof. Don't get hung up on how much you're worth. Just get proof. With or without payment, or with half the pay, whatever they can pay, take it and get proof. If they can't pay, no problem, take them, help them, get proof. Get like these short-term results that you can give people to collect proof. Proof speaks louder than any words that you have might ever say. Let's go to the second phase. Second phase, this is the movement builder phase. At movement builder, you're no longer trying to survive. You really now have something tangible. You have people that love you. You have results, and you know that what you do works. You know that what you do is needed. You know that there is a market that needs what you have. You are offering something tangible and people want it. And your new goal is now to build a movement. Instead of going alone, you're now building a movement. And you probably try to build a community, or you've known. This is the phase where building a community becomes paramount. I'm not saying you can't build a community in phase 1 and document your journey, but I wouldn't imagine it's the best use of your time. You can try and build a community and figure things out and document everything as you learn it. But I would rather you spend your time, even if you did a community in phase 1, I would rather the goal of that community was to get people on one-on-one calls, help them and get proof. Also, I'm trying not to overwhelm you, because if you start building community when you don't know who you're serving, that can be so much work and you feel like you're grinding and hustling. So I would rather you left that for phase 2 when you have enough proof. So when people are coming to your group, there's proof and they know that you actually know what you're doing. And so phase 2 is the movement builder. The goal is to really build the movement. You build a movement with people. You build a movement because you stand behind a purpose that is bigger than I want to get paid and pay for the bills. You're building something really big. You're like a freedom fighter. A movement builder is a freedom fighter. You're helping people come from darkness to light. Best Kept Secret is an example. It's a movement that is taking amazing people who are gifted and getting them paid and visible in the marketplace. There's a lot of people who have great potential, great skills, great work, but they are not visible. They are best kept secret. And so the mission is to get all these people and get them seen, get them hired, get them paid well. That is a movement that lifts a lot of people. So this is the phase. This is new, so I had to go back to this. Like sometimes you just have to bounce back to a phase that you need to bounce back to. In this phase, we're adding leverage. So instead of doing a lot of one-on-one stuff, we're now doing leverage. That's why you're seeing me now doing a lot of live stuff. I do Facebook, I do YouTube, and podcast. That's kind of how I roll, and email. So you're trying to do leverage stuff. You're recreating your signature offer. I've created like a six-figure offer before, so I can do it again, but I have to create a new one. So the good thing is when you've gone through a phase, you kind of have the momentum or you have the scars already, so you don't have to relearn it. Like now I'm going to have to create again my signature process and create again my signature offer, but I've done these things before. So I'm just going to have to redo them again. It's like a mother who's given birth to 5 kids. Kid number 6 is most likely not a problem. She's different from the person who is trying to have their first baby. It's a different problem altogether. So audience building or community building, leverage, like adding leverage and trying to do more of one to many, moving from one to one to one to many, creating leveraged offers, like a signature offer where you can plug people like mastermind type. And that's me and my model and how I want to work. For you, it may be different. It may be you want a membership where people pay you $300 or $100 and you want 1,000 people in there. I don't know. I like depth. So my kind of leverage offer would be a mastermind, and I would have like hands-on hot seats and all of that stuff. And I would charge 4 figures for that. I would charge 5 figures for that. 4 figures per month. Depends on who you are, how you're designed, and how really your blueprint looks like. But this is time for like a leveraged offer. Really getting good at enrolling people. Eliminating any blocks that you might have around why people should buy, shouldn't buy, why you should or shouldn't market. Like really just clearing these blocks out of your system and having the comfort of talking about the work you do because it's much needed and much respected in the marketplace. So clearing yourself of these blocks that might be in the way of you doing the thing that you know you need to do to get your work out there. The way that I look at marketing, it's an extension of coaching. It only goes to more people than can pay you. 1 out of 10 of everyone who watches your stuff may end up becoming a client. You see? So you doing marketing really helps 10 times more people see the work. And that is why I encourage you to do more marketing. That's why I encourage you to do more sales, because you're going to help more people in the process than the people who are going to pay you. And you're really going to have your contribution bigger if you do these things from a heart of serving, from a heart of taking people from here to here, from a heart of showing people what the blocks might be, from a heart of listening to people's goals, listening to the obstacles they have, and creating like a map for them, whether they pay you or not. You're going to have the most contribution if you can clear yourself of any blocks you have around marketing or sales. We are on Movement Builder. We're entering the dynamics of pricing and mastering pricing, both energetically and in the context of the real world. Really understanding what to charge and what for, creating offers that people really want to pay for. But a part of that is also expanding people's abilities to see what is possible for them so they can stretch their pockets to pay for the things, the experiences that they desire to expand. And the last one is creating your signature body of work. And so really creating frameworks around everything you do so that people can understand. This phase is the phase where you begin to really put things in perspective, in context, in frameworks. You become someone who can really teach people things because you have a way of presenting them, rather than in phase 1 where you just, I don't know, you can just do whatever you want, because that's not the goal. But here we're trying to get organized. We're trying to get people results. We're trying to take people through steps to get whatever they want. So that's your phase 2. It's just a phlegm. It's just a context. You can create your own phases of business. I'm just sharing this so you can go back and kind of say, okay, collect proof. Do I have proof? You know, message clarity. Do I have clarity around my message? Do I feel icky around marketing or sales? Is there any of these things that I may need to resolve? Because if you don't resolve them, they will come back for you in every phase. Like you will have to go back and figure them out. Like if you never allow yourself to sell or market or learn how to do those things, you will always find yourself going back, or it will limit you. But the more money you have, the more you can outsource those things. But I would not outsource marketing too much, because the best marketing is marketing that is coming from your soul as an intuitive being. And so I wouldn't I wouldn't outsource marketing too much. I might outsource sales, but I wouldn't outsource marketing too much. And so you may want to think about getting the skills. 3 is the legacy builder. Legacy builder is you're looking to be a thought leader. So bestseller is perfect there. Really building your fleet of work, fleet of programs. So more like this is best kept secret, and then we have best kept secret sales, best kept secret marketing, best kept secret relationships, best kept secret. So like this umbrella, best kept secret, you will see me mushrooming things under as I grow, as my audience grows, because it's kind of the phases. As I go up, then I'll begin to just add things as I have experienced them, but also the audience will be there. So it's not like I'll be creating this fleet of programs on bare ground. This is one of the mistakes people do, is they want to create all this fleet of programs, but then there's no one to consume them. You know, like you're trying to scale before you build the foundation. You're trying to take off before you have momentum. You know, like you're trying to take off a big plane, but you haven't done the groundwork to give it the momentum it needs. There's nothing wrong with you building your body of work without an audience, but it's just going to be harder. Doing that is like when you're driving uphill and your car runs out of petrol. Okay, so assume you're driving uphill and your car runs out of petrol. And then you get people and they try to push you uphill. That's how it is. When you build your legacy work before the audience, like that's what it feels like. You're driving up, you're out of fuel, but then you're asking people to push you up. Instead of, okay, I'm out of fuel, I'm going to get people to move me around. So they get the car and maybe move it around, or they just leave the car to reverse. So if you're on a hill and you've run out of fuel, maybe if people are helping you, let them support the car to reverse. So it's just much easier. Or it's like driving with your brakes on. It's just harder. Like it's like running with the wind in your face. Much harder. Can you do it? You can do it. But it's just 10 times harder. I hope that point really sticks because I wanted it to stick. Building leveraged offers where you can serve as many people as possible with the least amount of time on your side. But these offers probably you don't charge too much for them, and it doesn't matter because you have a lot of people joining them, so they still make you money. That's why we have memberships from thought leaders who have like 5,000 clients or 10,000 clients, but they also first did the legwork before launching that kind of thing. List swapping. You have friends who have bigger lists with your audience and you start swapping. You can do it earlier. I just think it makes sense. The more successful you are, the more successful people want to partner with you. This is a time when I could do lead magnets in phase 2 as well. But in phase 2, I like to have my community as a lead magnet. You might be on any platform you like. I just like School because School is a business and it optimizes business. And so what I like to do in phase 2 is just have my group as a lead magnet or have my group that collects the emails and just email the people in the group, as opposed to download my thing, is just join my community. And that is the way that people get to hear from me. In phase 3, I would focus on like a bestseller. So like bestseller, which is like something people can download, but also that's in addition to you having a community. And you don't have to do either or. You just have to kind of think. I'm just giving you like a way to think, because really a lot of my people, they're intuitive beings and they have like the best advice from within themselves. So this is not me by all means saying do this and do that. This is me just giving you some flame of reference so you can think through and see kind of how you want to map your stuff going backwards. Strong lead magnet, definitely I would go for a bestseller. I would hire talent to do the calls for pressure-free. I really like conversations to sell. And I like to sell in DMs if people already know me, if people have already bought from me. Like if I'm selling to people who've already bought from me offers that were high ticket before, I can sell in DMs. But for people who don't know me, who are new, I like to sell on the phone still. I really still feel like the phone is going to be big for me, at least. Because there is a way to sell without being pushy. There's a way to sell without tricking anybody into anything. There's a way to sell that feels good, that helps the person win. Like the conversations we do, it's literally the goals, it's the obstacles, and it is a plan, and literally helping somebody overcome whatever inner blocks they have around making a decision, whether that's to buy or not buy. Like, how can we get you in a place of peace so you can make a decision, whatever that is? I like doing these because I really see how they help people. Okay. Search time, sharpening your signature talk and sharpening your body of work. So your film works, your system, like everything. Like really optimizing. So what I find is a lot of people want to do the legacy stuff, which is cool, but they do it too soon. And so what happens for them is they feel like they are pushing their car uphill when it has no fuel. It just gets harder for you when you do it, when you do the right thing in the wrong time. You have a bestseller, okay, but nobody cares because there's no context to your name. And now you sit with this bestseller and you're like, what do I do? Nobody wants to buy even after I am a bestseller. You sit with this lead magnet and then maybe people opt in or they don't, but they never read your emails, or you find yourself in people's guru folders. I'm very guilty of this. I have a guru folder, and every couple of months, it has thousands of emails, and I just click delete. I could go unsubscribe, but I don't know. It's just too much time and too much effort, and I don't want to do it. How many people have you in their guru folder? Do you want to end up there? Maybe not. You can avoid that by collecting proof upfront so that when people download your thing, there is weight to it. There's also people that I have willingly looked for, gotten on their list, and I read their emails. Context. There's people that are put in my guru folder and later on somehow discovered who they were in another way. Maybe I stumbled on them or somebody talked about them. I don't know. They came up in another way and I went to my group folder and pulled them out. You can get, I guess you can give it a try and see. But if you're having a list that no one is buying from and you feel like you have crickets and crickets and crickets, I would encourage you to kind of think, what phase am I and what is going to be the focus? Sometimes scaling the unscalable is the answer. If anything, what I hope you picked up from this video is sometimes all you need is a new way to look at things. Sometimes all you need is a new way to look at why your lead magnet may not be landing you clients. Sometimes all you need to know is why your group may not be working. Sometimes all you need to know is why you may be struggling to get people to join your membership. And doing the right things in the wrong time is one of those things that if you stopped doing, you might see a big leap in your business. I hope this was helpful. I picked this off the course that is in the Best Kept Secret community. We have a community on school, and you're welcome to join. There's a pinned post on my feed, and there's a link to join there. So if you're like, this really helped, this is kind of how I teach. How can I get you to think in a new way? Because you've probably learned from everybody and you probably know everything by now, but like, how can I get you to think about it in a different way? Because being an intuitive in the marketplace can be hard. I have had to learn from people and I tell myself I won't be doing that. I have had to divert away from the strategy that I've been given because intuitively I didn't feel like doing that. Like I've had to use my own wisdom to make people's processes work for me. And out of that, I've picked a lot of lessons, and I love to share those lessons because sometimes I really believe that you don't need anything new. Sometimes I feel you just need to see it in a different way. Sometimes you just need somebody new saying it. You don't need another course, another anything. Like sometimes you just need to see a different lens of how you've been doing what you're doing. If this helps, I'd like to know. Comment. And if you feel the pull, the school community is open and happily receiving people. You'll be flipping to paid very soon. Our school just introduced a trial, so you still have a chance to try it out for 7 days before you pay. I'm thinking of a price of like $4.99, $4.97, something like that. That's the price that is dropping in my field a month. But for that, you'll get weekly calls, mastermind type thing, which the last group I did paid me $1,500 a month. I'll probably charge $2,000 a month now for that kind of service. And you still have a steal for being in the community because it will be small, it will be gated, and there won't be so many people. So you still have access on the weekly call. It's just that with that, I probably can serve a little more people than I would in a $2,000 mastermind because I may want to keep that to 30 max or 40, and I may want to split the group into two people, into like two groups. You're feeling the pull, just join us on School. You can search for Best Kept Secret on School, or you can just go to my pinned post and there will be a link to join us. We'll be happy to have you on the inside before it flips to paid. But even when it does, you can come for a trial. There'll be 7 days trial before you are required to pay. It's just that you will need to give the credit card before the trial. That's the only difference. All right, I hope this helps you. Have an amazing day. Your message is very much needed in the world. Your message exists because the world is suffering and needs it. And so I really believe that you have a message that is needed. I truly believe in that. I believe your work is needed. I believe you deserve attention and you deserve to be paid. And I believe that keeping your work a best kept secret does not serve any purpose in this universe. I hope that you decide to stop being one, and sending you all my love. Have a beautiful day.